Hello, happy Friday, and welcome to another episode of Silver Path AI. I'm Glenda, and I'll be your host today. Today I'm going to show you how to understand your 401k statement using an AI tool. So I got my quarterly statement in the mail, and after staring at it for about 10 minutes, trying to figure out if I'm actually on track for retirement, I began to ask myself these questions. What's a vested balance versus a total balance? What does expense ratio mean? Am I invested in the right funds? How do I know if I'm contributing enough? As you can see, this statement is full of numbers and financial jargon, and it assumes I already know what it all means. And here's the scary part. This is my retirement, so I need to understand this. But no one ever explained it to me in plain English, so I did what I always do. I asked AI. And 2 minutes later, I understood exactly where I stand and what the numbers actually mean. Let me show you. Here's why understanding your 401k actually matters. First, this is your retirement. So retirement planning is key. If you don't know what the numbers mean, you can't know if you're saving enough. Second, fees. That expense ratio that's buried in your statement, it could be costing you tens of thousands of dollars over your career. Third, you have to look at your investment choices and ask yourself this question. Am I in the right fund? Is this going to actually help me reach my goals? And fourth, peace of mind. Understanding your statement means you can actually plan ahead instead of hoping it just works out. So let me show you how AI translates financial jargon into language you can actually understand. Now, the first thing I did was I took a picture or a photocopy of my 401k statement using my phone, and it really just depends on what phone you have. For example, if you have an Apple phone, you can probably just do the AirDrop, and if you have the MacBook, you can just go ahead and transfer it that way, but I don't have that, so what I use is the Microsoft OneDrive. And I just uploaded it to my Microsoft OneDrive. So all I need to do is go here, get my 401k statement, and I can just add it in there. And then I just went ahead and I started my questions. Now keep in mind that when you are uploading your statement, you don't need the whole thing. All you need is things like your balance, your contributions, your investment, just basically information like that. And then once it's uploaded, here's the exact prompt that I used to get this started. So I said, this is my 401k statement. Please explain in simple terms. 1, what is my vested balance versus total balance? This is important to know because you want to know how much you're actually fully vested in, because some companies requires a period of time before you can actually be fully vested. Then 2, I wanted to know, what do these investment funds mean, and are they appropriate for someone my age. That is very important to know, especially if you're getting closer to retirement age. And 3, I wanted to know, what is the expense ratio and is it too high? And then 4th, am I contributing enough based on my age? And then 5, what should I be paying attention to? Which is really good to know, because if you don't have enough, you want to know what you want to pay attention to in order to make sure that you have what you need to reach your goal. Then I press enter. And just like that, I have my answer. So as you can see, to answer my vested balance versus my total balance, it tells me I'm fully vested. I asked the question about my investment funds. What does that mean? It's telling me I'm 100% vested in this fund. And this fund is basically set to reach my retirement by 2030. Now it answers the question, is this appropriate? So it just really depends on what your age is. As you can see, if you're younger, you want more stocks. It tells me my expense ratio, is it too high? In this particular case, it's extremely low. So there's nothing for me to really be concerned about. Am I contributing enough? So it's telling me I'm doing good, but it's still low. What should I be paying attention to? This is really important. I need to pay attention to my contribution rate, my choice. This is really important because it might be too conservative. It just depends on your age. And then it has your asset mix. It's telling me what I have. And it also answers the questions about fees. It's telling me my fees are very low. And it also talks about my consistency. So this is the biggest win for me. I'm staying consistent, so that's good. So here's the big picture and the takeaway. I love this because it gives you, an analysis, and it kind of gives you the big picture. So it tells me what to do, and it tells me what to, also gives me another option for advice in case I want to get a little bit more aggressive with my retirement. So as you can see, AI is a very handy tool to have to help you make sense of financial jargon that you don't understand in layman terms. This same approach, it works for any confusing document, such as investment statements, especially when you want to know what all those numbers mean, or Social Security statements. You can ask yourself, am I getting the maximum benefit? Pension summaries, what are my payouts? IRA statements, do I do a traditional one or is it a Roth one that I want to look into? What's the difference between the two? Medicare Part D plan comparisons. Ask yourself this question, which one saves me money? Annuity statements. What am I actually paying in fees? All you need to do is take a photo, upload it to AI, and ask Explain this in simple terms. It doesn't give you financial advice, but what it does is it translates the jargon so that you can understand what you're looking at and make informed decisions. So as you can see, this is exactly the kind of financial confusion that causes stress for people who are managing their retirement independently. That's what Silver Path Senior Services helps with. We translate the complexity so people can maintain their independence while understanding what matters. If you found this helpful, I got more practical AI tips every week on Silver Path AI. Hit subscribe, and if you're in Las Vegas and have a parent who needs help navigating financial paperwork, check out Silver Path Senior Services in the description. And for your convenience, I've also created a free download. It's a 401k AI translator. It has key questions to ask, so you can use these prompts with any retirement statement. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next week.